Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and this is a relatively unscheduled program, but it's a little uh, toe test in the waters. I want to see what people think of it. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Jeff. Uh, the Great Informer is here also. Guys, appreciate you hanging out. Want to give it just a minute to see if we can get a couple more people in here, but I got an interesting idea here, and want to see what you guys think of it. Oh, new follower. Welcome, Mike. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the family. We have a big family. We don't know who our mother is, but we all kind of get along anyway. But I think we might have the same father, but I don't know. It's confusing. But it's one big patriot family anyway. So, hey, Sandra, good to see you. Just giving it just a couple more minutes. I know it's midday and a lot of people are doing a lot of things, but I want to try something new, and I might turn it into a permanent thing on my Thursday night. Hey, DM, just got notification. Yeah, well, I just been on, no, I don't know, half an hour, so you're all right. No, not really. I've only been on, I started it up actually about two before on. So yeah, everybody, welcome Mike. He's new to the household, and Mike, this is everybody. Everybody, this is Mike. Mingle, get to know each other because it's a very good group of people. We all enjoy each other's company. Hey, Benny, and a phone call. Oh, look at that! It's the wife. Hey, oh, I'm live right now. How are you doing? Yeah, I figured you might want to be part of my first come on in show. So you're the first one. You're the first guest. I'm going to talk about it. I want to see what kind of reception it gets. Uh, recommended by the Border Command Marathon. Okay, awesome. Glad that got you over here. Yeah, we're fun, so I think you'll enjoy yourself. But all right, babe. Let me go you right after I get done with this because Pete goes on at 1, so I want to chat with my folks and give him his time slot without stepping on any toes. Okay. All right. Love you. All right. Bye bye. My wife says hi. So she was my first guest. All right. This is what I have in mind. I know that you folks, as people in my chat, you always have something that's eating at you, burning at you, and you want to get it off your chest. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. We have many call-in shows, and you get your opportunity to discuss issues with the host. And what I'm wanting to do is something very similar to that, but with a little catch. Uh, don't particularly need you calling in, but if you hit that link right there, you can be a come-in guest, and you can join me right here on the screen, and we can discuss the issues that are annoying to the general populace. So if you feel like coming in and talking about the events of the day, then by all means, I'd love to have you. Um, I want to see what you guys think of this idea, and if you like the idea, then I want to make it a regular thing. You were on the phone. I was on the phone too. My wife and my first guest, folks. Yes, that's right. We do have a guest, and it is Florida Jim. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, Alex, my
friend.
Oh,
you know what? Hold on. I'm only part idiot. I still have some pieces missing. I can't hear you. So let me get my headset on that I was unprepared for. You caught me so off guard. Let me plug this in right here. All right. Fix that. Throw these on right there. How about we try that again? Hi, Florida Jim. How are you?
Hello, sir. How are you? Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh,
It's amazing
fantastic.
how that works when you
Fantastic.
actually plug in your headphones.
It's amazing what headphones will do when you're trying to hear somebody.
Eh? No, just kidding.
There's just there's just a
So, what's on
slight
your
bit
mind?
of a delay between me and you, so we're probably going to overlap on each other.
Yeah, that's fine. We can make a statement and then we go make a sandwich. And by the time the statement comes across, we'll be back and eating.
Or we can make a statement sandwich. Either way.
That sounds good with a little cheese on it. Propus just joined us. Good to see you. So, what's on your mind, bud?
Sorry, I had a notification came up and covered you up. What did you ask me? I didn't hear you.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Besides a whole bunch of stuff that nobody cares about, probably the 1K drive that you're doing. I know there's nothing official out what you're planning on doing. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that any further. I mean, is there any more? Maybe I've missed something. I'm not really sure.
Well, it's not going to be that elaborate necessarily, but what we're looking at doing is on Monday this next week, we're going to be guests on History Bee show, and we're going to take the members that are in need of the $1,000 mark, and I think we've got 7 of us, and the idea is we're going to go on. It'll be a live show at the time, and each one of us will plead our case, why, how many we need to get there, what the reason is that we would like to reach that point, and it's going to be a little bit of a freestyle with a little bit of information on each person that needs to make it over $1,000. And the issue is that if we don't get the $1,000 before the first of the year, then
Right.
the rules are going to change again. And if we do get the $1,000, then we will be able to be grandfathered in, apparently, supposedly, allegedly. But so if we are grandfathered in and everybody's safe and we don't get restricted.
Oh yeah, because I'm in the same boat you are right now. I'm about 150, 160 away from 1,000, and I've
Okay.
I've been pulling the old Tony Patriot trick, going onto these grow channels, which actually do help. They're a great help, but if
Yeah.
you're gonna do that, prepare yourself to put some time into it, because just a tip for everybody: if you go to a grow channel and you want people to come to your channel and leave a genuine comment and watch you in full, throw up a little video that's maybe a minute or 2 long. Because a lot of problems that I have when I go to these
Right.
sites, somebody else's channel, they've got a 3-hour stream. And I'm not going to sit there and
Right.
watch you for 3 hours. I'm just not going to do it unless it's live at the time and I'm watching it with you. And I'm still not going to watch it for 3 hours. That's just the way it is. Why am I out of focus here? Is that
Right.
just my eyes, or is that me? Am I out of focus?
No, you jumped out of focus. I think it's trying to zoom in on your family photos, which are quite nice behind you. But
Yeah, it's just one of my things from the past, back in the days when I was a skydiver. My wife's
right
grandparents
on.
from Latvia, excuse me, Latvia. My 2 dogs here. That's my late wife's seeing eye dog, and that's my first Rottweiler. And that's a picture of my late wife Linda with her seeing eye dog. And my wife, my ex-wife, my late wife before I married. She's been passed now for 20 years, so it's been some time. But you got to keep the memories alive.
That still sucks. Oh yeah,
It does.
that's all you ever get to take with you.
Yeah, she was only 29 when she passed.
Oh wow, oh my God,
So
I'm sorry,
please,
that
people,
sucks.
if you know somebody who has diabetes, please encourage them to take care of themselves, because diabetes is a horrible, horrible, horrible disease, and it'll eat you apart slowly. So please, if you know somebody in that situation.
The great informer asked who I am speaking to. This is Florida Jim. So he's very close to the $1,000 mark. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Florida Jim, please do.
Yes.
I don't have your link. That's one thing that will be unusual on this show, is I won't be able to throw up the links as quickly.
I can't
DM,
do it.
if you could find him.
DM usually throws them up there right away. She's really good at that. She's a wonderful person. I love that woman. And also
Hey,
another
Jeff, good to see you. Oh yes, yeah. We are infectious. We spread across the YouTube.
Yeah.
Hey, 12B Georgia.
I've only been down in Florida now full time for about a year and a half. We moved from Illinois down here to escape the political tyranny of the People's Republic of Illinois, which is now being
Understood.
headed up by Hong Chi Pritzker, who is just the most evil man in the world. If you're not familiar with Illinois politics, there's a quick breakdown. J.D. Pritzker is the current Illinois governor. He was elected almost by a landslide. Now, here's the twist in it that I can't wrap my brain around. When Illinois' last governor, Ron Blagojevich, was trying to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat, the FBI wiretapped him. The FBI caught J.B. Pritzker on tape. The entire state heard him say, "Whatever it takes, Rod, I will do whatever it takes to assure that I get the AG of Illinois." Okay, that's conspiracy, right there, clear-cut conspiracy. The foolish individuals of the state of Illinois went and elected this man governor after he was caught on FBI tape.
I don't think it was an election. I believe it was a selection. There is a difference.
You're right.
In a liberal state, there's almost no voting power.
There is a little-known state saying in Illinois that if you live in Illinois, you have a 3 times less of a chance of going to prison than if you're an elected official.
Yeah, well, that seems to be across the board right now.
Well, it's bad in Illinois. I mean, it was so bad. We were going to move down. Sorry, I was moving the phone. We were going to move down here originally because our daughter is attending the University of Tampa. She's in her 2nd year right now. She's going to be a forensic scientist. She's going to be a blood splatter analyst. Why a girl wants that, I don't know, but whatever. I'll support her anything as she does. When we left Illinois, our last house in Illinois, we were started out at $800 a year in taxes. Last year when we left, our taxes went up to $1,495 a year.
Wow.
Not only that, but
I got that same kind of hit. Here in Florida, I got that same kind of hit because when you're living on a VA disability, there is state laws that allow you to be tax exempt because you just frankly don't make that much.
Right.
So they decided to change that without any warning, and I got a notice last year that I owed $490 something in taxes. So when I went in there and asked them, they said, "No, we can't finance taxes," because I told them, I said, I can't make that money in 3 months.
Yeah, so, I know.
They said, "Well, you're going to have to figure out something to do because they can put a lien on my property and all this other garbage." So it's a game, and we have to watch out for it because they change the rules just on the drop of a dime.
Yeah,
so I went from paying no taxes to almost $500.
I'm currently in a disability application state down here. I've been doing this for almost a year. I just got off the phone with them. The reason, first off, let me describe the reasoning that I'm doing this. In 1992, I broke my back in 3 places on the job.
You're never going back to those 3 places again.
No, I won't. They're rough places. But I was a tree trimmer for a very, very prestigious tree trimming corporation. We worked for the largest electrical supplier in Illinois, which was ComEd. We were a contractor. I fell out of a tree 65 feet and hit every goddamn branch on the way down.
Well, you believe it or not, that makes you lucky. Because if you'd have hit that at full momentum, you'd probably not be in the shape you are now.
Well, considering the fact I had 30
pounds. How you doing? Good to see you.
I had 30 pounds.
Drop it like Scott. Good to see you.
I had 30 pounds of equipment. I had 30 pounds of equipment tied to me on my duty belt. So, yeah, plus a chainsaw, which is what I landed on, and that snapped the old back. But, this is a classic example of how our government gives us the big green weenie. this program of disability insurance was set up for people in the situation like yourself and myself who are unable to continue in the workforce. But yet, they continue to play games with us and do everything in their power to deny us this right to this program that was set up for this purpose and this purpose alone, which I don't understand that aspect at all. I just don't get that. The last letter that I got from Social Security Disability. Now, this is I'm paraphrasing the letter. It basically stated that they saw nothing wrong with my abilities to pursue work based on my job 3 years ago in Illinois when I was driving a truck. Mm-hmm. How does that work? How does that work?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I went through the VA. It took me 17 and a half years of fighting the VA to get my disability. So
that's even worse.
For many of those years, it was with a family of 4. It was white rice, white grits, and ramen for 2 meals a day because that was all we could really afford. My kids learned pretty quickly what it's like to barely exist, and that makes them a lot more appreciative of what they do have now that they've grown up and started getting stuff.
My daughter is in the same boat. She understands. It's not that I don't want to do things for her. It's just that right now we're not in the gravy days like we were back in Illinois when we had a combined income of $80,000-$90,000 a year. We could blow $300-$400 on a night out, and it didn't bother us. Now that even thank God we live down here in Florida where things are cheaper. You people down here in Florida who've grown up in Florida, in some cases, you don't understand how lucky you people are with your taxes and stuff. Now, in Illinois, you get taxed for goddamn breathing air. I mean, it's ridiculous up there. They want to tax everything. J.B. Pritzker is destroying the state of Illinois. He wants to turn it into a wasteland. It used to be Illinois used to keep Wisconsin funded because of the Dells and all. Everybody would drive up there and have a good time. Now it's Wisconsin keeping Illinois funded because the people from Wisconsin down there to go fishing and whatnot, go to Lake Michigan and all that. I lived up in the northern part of Illinois. I lived right on the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Just the fact that you come down here, we unfortunately we had to sacrifice our big 3,000 square foot house for a 750 square foot house. But another thing,
I live in 340 square feet, so it's pretty much what you need, and I don't have any more needs. So my wife and I fit perfectly in here with 3 pets, and it's got everything we need.
Well, speaking of pets, that's the one thing I don't understand about the state of Florida. You guys are scared out of your wits' end over Rottweilers and Pit Bulls, which I just happen to have.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Right there. That is not a mean dog at all. I train my dogs.
About every other family up here in the Panhandle has a Pit Bull, so they kind of tell them to piss off.
I am a certified dog trainer. I train all my own dogs. Plus, I had the privilege of attending a training session at Leader Dog up in Rochester, Michigan, when my wife was up there getting her seeing eye dog, the one I showed you in the picture. I have been around dogs my whole life. I can take my dogs out here in my yard, off leash. We have 3 feral cats that we feed. Them dogs will not touch those cats as long as I tell them not to touch them. But yet, you have people down here, landlords.
Sorry. Saw yours, Cooper. I think that's how you say that name, but I'm welcome. You're a new name.
Hello, Cooper.
Jeff, I don't want to end this abruptly, but I want to see if we can get if somebody else is interested in coming in. And it's been awesome talking to you, and I'm really thinking about doing this from now on Thursday night. I still will be up on my regular schedule tonight at 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern. But I think I'm going to use the same format because I just want to get to know the people and see what's on their mind.
Right, right, and then that's an absolutely great thing. Real quickly before I go here, this is exactly the kind of thing I want to do. I used to be part-time in radio up in Chicago, in Illinois, and in Tennessee. I went to broadcasting school. It's originally what my plans in life was. I wanted to be a disc jockey. That's what I wanted to be my entire life. Unfortunately, truck driving lured me in, and I made more money, and it was easier and whatnot. But this is exactly
Coyote. How you doing?
This is the kind of stuff that I enjoy, and that's why I was the first one here, because I am kind of a whore for this shit. So.
Well, I appreciate you blessing me with your street walking ability. Then.
Thank you. Well, anytime I can give you the. All right. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. All right.
Bye.
Talk to you later. All right. I put the link back up there. Who else wants to jump in here and tell me what they got going on in their lives? This is your hour-long or whatever-long show. Joseph Burbo, welcome. Let me put it back up there just in case it jumped up over the top. And please, if you got something on your mind you want to talk to me about, that's what this show is about. This is the come on in show. We're not going to do a call in. We're going to do a face-to-face. So just hit that link and I'll bring you up if you want to come join. But as far as what is on my mind, I'm truly fascinated by the illegalities going on in our Congress right now. Drop it like it's Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome my next guest. This is Drop It Like It's Scott. Drop It Like It's Scott. And I think he's trying to come in here. Let me let you down. You go hit the link one more time. Go ahead and exit and hit the link, because it didn't catch that time for whatever reason, or it's my glitchy computer thing. So yep, there he is. All right, what's happening?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I am doing awesome. Good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drop It Like It's Scott. If you don't have him, please take a minute and subscribe, because 9mm Mondays are the bomb.
9mm Monday. Only on Drop It Like
Yes,
It's Scott.
Sir.
Or other channels that have the same thing. So you'll have to pardon
Nobody
me.
has 9mm Monday.
Nobody's got 9mm Monday. I haven't
That's
come
right.
across anybody yet. So.
Well,
but,
it's interesting. So what's on your mind?
Not much, man. I just driving to work. My son just got out of the dentist. He had 5 teeth pulled. So I was kind of with him, and now I'm heading to work for the remainder of the day. And yeah, that's it.
What a rush.
Hell yeah. So I saw that you're on here.
Take a minute and tell people. Yeah, take a minute and tell people about you, about your. I know you've got another channel. Tell the folks about yourself a little bit.
All right. Well, let's see. We got Drop It Like It's Scott. It's a firearms channel. The slogan is in there. The slogan there is Drop It Like It's Scott, your home for gun range, gun reviews, and encouraging thoughts. I try and leave an encouraging thought on my Wednesday videos to just kind of uplift people, because there's so much negativity going on in the world today that we need a little bit of change. We need a little bit of positivity, and I try and leave it with some scripture verse and let people know that that God loves them, and that hey, there's hope for you. And then also there's the Make It or Break It channel. It's the collaboration channel between me, Knight's Armory, and McCartney Survival. And that channel is going pretty well. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So you are a Florida native, just like the rest of us. Like I say, we're like a infectious plague, and we've taken over the YouTube by Florida residents.
Well, I'm a Florida resident, but I'm not a Florida native. I was born in Massachusetts, so I'm a Bostonian from origin, but moved down here when I was a kid. So I claim Florida as my own, and I still claim Boston as my start.
Yeah, I was born in Louisville, Kentucky, but my mom and dad moved from there, leaned off. I never had a chance in Kentucky, but I've been back and forth to Florida because my father's in the Navy, so we would go out somewhere and then we'd come back here, and then we'd go out and come back. So
Right.
so much repetition. This is the place that I ended up coming back to because this was more home than anywhere else on the world.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I've been to Kentucky before. I was before I started working in corporate America with FedEx. I traveled for 10 or 11 years as a professional musician, believe it or not. And
Right on.
I've been to 41 of the 50 states.
I got 49. The only one I'm missing is Maine, and I was so close I could have thrown a rock to it, and I didn't drive my car over the border. I still kick myself.
Oh, you'll get there one day.
Yeah, well, that's a plan. That's on my bucket list.
Right now.
Yep. Yeah. I'm a summer visitor, I promise you.
What's that?
I say I'm a summer visitor, I promise you.
You don't like cold weather, huh?
I can't do cold. I've got all this titanium in my back, and my sciatic nerves are right up against the steel rods that are drilled into my pelvis. So when it gets cold, I literally get my nerves frozen and I can't use my legs. So it's a little more than not liking the cold. I can't function in it.
Well, there you go. Don't go in the cold then. Go up there during summertime when it's hot. But you're in the right state for that.
I'm pretty much here because it gets just cool enough to be pleasant in the wintertime. Sometimes it gets cold, and on those days I'm usually in the house with movies. But other times, we just don't get much cold here for what it is.
No, we don't. If we get any cold, it's like 60 degrees. That's like jacket weather for me.
Well, we can get into the 20s here in the Panhandle, but like I say, on those days, which is only about 2 or 3 days out of the whole winter, then it's hot cocoa and good movies, But otherwise, it's good to go.
Yeah, I always like some hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is good for the soul.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Well, very cool, man. Very cool. So glad I was able to hook up with you, man. I know it's been a work in progress trying to get on the show with you and stuff. So I'm glad I was able to get on here with you and just kind of catch up. And
me too.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's been outstanding. I appreciate you joining me.
Heck yeah, man.
Well, that's a good thing. No risk of accident.
What's that?
Well, I say it's good because you don't have to have the risk of an accident now.
Yeah, that's it. So, but very cool. So, what else is happening with you?
Well, I'm still doing my Sunday night show inside Veterans Affairs. That's a permanent thing. And Tuesdays I'm doing basically a comedy and cut loose show. Real weird, real funny, real news, and it is actual headlines that are written that make people question what might have been in the mind of the writer. It's headlines that are ridiculous. It's news stories that kind of make your eyes cross. It's it's real news, but it's very strange news. So I've been starting that, and now Wednesday night I'm doing a show with Pete the Patriot, and that is Fact, Fiction, and Beyond, where we discuss theories and whatever is reality but written off as conspiracy by the government. So we get into that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Then Thursday night, it looks like I'm gonna be trying this from now on. I want to get to know them out with me, and I want to discuss the issues of the day, the things that are bugging them, that kind of stuff, because there's a lot going on, and it's nice to have an outlet to talk about it.
Yep, that there is. There's a garbage load of stuff happening, and some of it's pointless, and some of it's good information. So,
right,
man, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Tonight, I will be taking care of my 8-year-old son who's missing 5 teeth, and so he'll be snuggled up against me on the couch for the remainder of tonight. So I'll try and jump in on your stream.
Well, that'd be awesome. I'll look for you there.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to jump in
All
here.
right, man.
I
Well,
got to my building, and I'm going to jump in my office. I got to do some stuff.
yeah, I got a thing. All right, man. Well, it's been awesome having you on here. I appreciate the hell out of it, and
Yeah.
we'll see you. We'll look for you tonight in the stream.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, folks, that was Drop It Like It's Scott. You know, I've been trying to get him on here for quite a while. It's kind of nice to have him face to face. There's that link again. If you have something on your mind, darling, welcome. Just grab that link, jump on in here. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you got going on. Don't be shy. Step right up. I only bite a little bit. I have no teeth, so it's probably not going to hurt much. I see Pete. Hey, Pete. You going on at, you going on in 30 minutes Eastern time, 1 o'clock, right? 12B ScrewTube is taking 40% of the super chats now. Wow. They get you coming and going. Yeah, it's fascinating, but at some point here shortly, I want to talk about the situation that's going on with this whole impeachment thing, because there's no legal basis for it. It's totally outside of the bounds of the law. The Supreme Court is actually hearing a case right now that's a man, I think, out of Louisiana has filed suit because he's been denied his fourth and fourth states, and his case almost mirrors the case that's going on official impeachment inquiry. So it's interesting. The comparison between the case that's being heard and what's going on now could mean that if there's a favorable decision by the Supreme Court on this case, that they would end up having precedent to use in the case against Donald Trump. There's that link again if you want to jump in and say, hey, see what's going on. I'd love to have you. I got people in the chat. I know it's midday. It's definitely some people are doing their thing that they have to do. Cool hour and a half from now. Okay. All right, cool. So who's going to join me? Who's next? Step right up. Don't be shy. Winner, chicken down. Nobody's coming up. Nobody has anything on their mind. That's just fascinating. I'm absolutely overwhelmed by all the things that are going through my brain right now. It's just amazing. Everything is going on. It's you're seeing criminal activity left and right, and absolutely nothing is being done about it. I know that with the Congress, with the House, when they write bills, they're not laws. They're just bills. There are statutes, there are codes, and they are articles, and they are resolutions, but they're not laws. They're just bills. There you are, Scott. Yep, Darla, he is right over there. Anyway, so it just, when they write these bills, somehow they get away with exempting themselves. And even in the 14th Amendment, in Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, it says that if you are performing sedition or criminal activity against the country, you are, but then it has a little subnote underneath that can be removed for said activity vote from each house. So basically, as long as you have a blanket of security of Democrats and in some cases Republicans, you guys know I don't discriminate. If you're an idiot on the Republican, still an idiot. Just because you have the offense doesn't make you less of an idiot. So when they do this criminal activity, they are totally surrounded and protected of their own creation. So they don't have to worry about it. They just They break the laws. They do whatever they have to do because they know that their out is through impeachment, and they know that their rally teams will surround them and protect them. Expulsion, because they know that to do is just keep doing what they're doing, to vote to drop people. Oh, you broke? We'll take care of you. You'll be all right. I'm going to look at some properties. Expensive though. Well, good luck with that. I hope you find something very, very. We are a family estate. My bought this property with the idea that family could live here. We have several. Basically, if somebody needs it, they just because it's here, and have any need for nursing homes, because there's enough people on the front time that we take care of our elders and take care of our aging family members, and then it gets done in return. So it's a nice idea, and we are looking. Probably in the next 5 years, I want to try to get at least a half-season home down in Crystal River, because that place is just stunning. But we would potentially be down there for the winter months and then back up here for the summer, or vice versa. But just a place that we can get away. All I need is a shoebox down there with just a little bit of a water view, and I'd be good to go. But we're about 5 years away from being in any position to do anything. Got cars to pay off and life to pay off, and then once we are finally caught up and debt free, maybe 6 years, then we'll be looking for that little shoebox down there. But nobody wants to join me tonight or this afternoon. Mike, let's do this. There's that link again. If you want to come in, just hit the link and come see me. But in the chat, all 15 of you, if you want on a regular basis on Thursday night, instead of the political chat, with more of a interaction and a face-to-face, a come-in show. One, if you think that have something better to come, keep thinking and hit number 2. 1 or 2 if you want. 1 for to do this on Thursday nights full time, and 2 for keep looking. Yeah, it's ludicrous. Not about it. I'm waiting for it. So, no, Benny said something. I missed it. It's all a magic act. Yeah, it's a play. It's a fabrication, and it's a play. So we see act 1, act 2, the curtains drop, something else comes up when they come back. It's ridiculous. All right, DM, so you like the idea. That's good. I just want to do something different. There's a lot of call-in shows, and those are great. I mean, it's nice to be able to talk with the creators and pick the brain a little bit and see what they got rattling around in there. And but I want to do something a little more face-to-face interactive, but also with the idea that when I have a guest on here, I want to be able to have other people in the chat recognize their need to grow and expand, and maybe be able to subscribe to their channel while they're visiting with me. I did it for the new channel, Nice Armory too. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah. Old Jim, Knights Armory, he's awesome. I met him and we hung out a bit, did a couple of promo videos, and it was a lot of fun. We're going to be doing another collaboration, but I won't get into that because it's a secret, highly classified. So Jim knows that I shouldn't be talking about that, and I could be hunted down, so I won't say anything. Linda, hey there. What was the question? I don't remember. My question. No, I do happen to remember that. If what I'm doing is a come-in show where it's not a call-in show, but I put up a link. As a matter of fact, it zipped up over the top again, so I'm going to put it back in there. But I put this link in here like so. And if you have something on your mind, you want to talk, you want to meet and greet, you want to jump up here on the screen with me, we can have a conversation about what you got going on in your mind, what you think about the day's activities and what's going on in the world. And it's a come-in show instead of a call-in show. And this is a pilot program. This is an experiment. I just want to see what people think of it. And one question for DM is, what is my window on Thursday? And would there be a potential for me to start an hour early as opposed to 7 o'clock Eastern? Would I be able to start at 6 o'clock Eastern without squashing anybody's nards trying to get on here? And please, if you have something on your mind, jump on in here. We don't discriminate. We ain't shy. We're not worried about anything. If you think you're not good looking enough for television or for camera, then exhibit A. So just got to jump in here and we'll see what you got on your mind. Okay. Yeah, make sure you guys are networking through the chat too, because there's some incredible creators, YouTube creators that hang out here. And we all need to grow, because we all have a mission. We all have a desire to get our information that we have piled up in us out to the people. And everybody has something different to bring to the table. Some people do prepping, which is good. I do prepping. It's not a topic that I discuss on my channel, but it is a topic that I practice. You can never be too prepared. And I've been through 2 major earthquakes, so I know what it's like to be without everything. I've been through hurricanes that left us without power for over a month. I mean, I'm a magnet for natural disasters. I've been through a haboob, which is a dust storm that actually was so severe it destroyed a lot of infrastructure. And I mean, it's ridiculous what I've been through. Duke Rawl, hey brother. I'll tell you what I'm doing here is I'm doing a come-in show. If you are interested in coming in and telling me what you got going on, what's on your mind, I'm putting a link up, and all you got to do is tap that link and come tell me what you got on your mind. What's going on in your world? So the link is up, and if you just hit it. I will be doing this. I had 2 1 votes. I think that's not a majority, but I think that it'll be interesting. So we'll do this on my Thursday evening show, and this pilot program is to see what people think. And we'll have you guys come in and hang out. We'll see what's going on. I seem to be my own natural. Yeah. Bull in a china shop kind of thing. Oh, you live in the state that shakes, rattles, and rolls. Where is that, Mike? Which state do you reside? I was in California. I was also in northern Japan when they had one of their biggest earthquakes on record before that 9.0 that caused that massive tsunami and the damage to the nuclear power plant. I was there, and we had an 8.3 earthquake, and we were running out of the house and diving into the front yard, because an earthquake that big, you don't stand. You pretty much lay down, and you have to spread your arms and legs apart so you're not rolling around on the ground like a fish out of water. And you literally get waves that come across the soil that look like a rolling beach scene. And the earth actually rolls, and you get launched into the air at the top of one of the waves of dirt, and then you come slamming back down on your back or your belly, whichever one you happen to land on when you get out of the structure. So it's an amazing thing. It was a growth period. We grew up real quick with that one, but we also were in the Loma Prieta quake, in I was over there in Fort Ord, California when that happened. So you are in California, okay? Yeah, my wife's from Monterey or Marino. She was actually born on Fort Ord, California, the planet. So uh, I met her over there when I was there, and came back to Florida and got married. And after my military, we've been here pretty much ever since, with the exception of a trip overseas. Went to live in Turkey for a year, and that was fascinating. But anyhow, so anybody wants to join me, I'd love to have you. You gotta not be shy. Jump on in here. The only thing is you need either Chrome or Firefox as your browser, and once you have that, then all you have to do is hit that link, and you just pop up underneath my screen. I hit a little button on your image, and you come right on in here, and you can tell me what you got going on in your world. But on tonight's show, while I am waiting for guests, I am going to be discussing some of the corruption of the law that's taking place right now with this articles of impeachment inquiry that is not an inquiry, and it is not a legal action, nor should it be recognized as such in any way, which is why the White House and the State Department have basically told the House that they will not be complying until this is made into a legal standing, which requires a House vote. And they wouldn't dare vote, because if they do, it will expose them. It'll expose the Democrats that are in soft regions that were won by President Trump. But also, it will, if they don't get their vote, then they have nothing else at this point. And once the FISA documents come out and the exposure of the crimes come out, they're basically out of ammunition. They have nothing left, so they're going to try to ride this wave, keep people distracted from the FISA release, and right when that happens, I think we're looking at between the 17th and the 19th. You need to have your head on a pivot. You need to be on a swivel, because they're going to be cornered like badgers, and badgers come out fighting when they get cornered. Not saying that they would potentially stand any chance, but we're already looking at Antifa coordinating a massive riot on the supposedly right after the release of the documents. But the one thing to think of is the Friday night drop is usually when documents are thrown out, because they have all weekend to spend it in the media. Yeah, San Andreas is a good movie. But so they're saying by the 19th that this will be released. And I'm thinking the 19th is a Monday, and I'm thinking we need to be looking maybe at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I just have a feeling that somehow it dropped at the Friday night drop instead of Monday. If they can get away with it on Monday, for the media to spin it all weekend, we can hope anyway. So we're going to say let's target the 19th with expectation that it'll be on the 16th. And when this all gets exposed, a lot of people are going to be in trouble. I don't see criminal charges. I don't believe that's realistic, because by exempting themselves, I think there will be actions. I just don't the people, them continuing to be in their position because of the crimes that will be. But then again, there are some people that rats do wrong, they can do no wrong, and no matter what President Trump does right, it's love the Democrats, impeach the president, that kind of shit. We just gotta embrace. Monterey is she's in Arkansas right now, and then I think next week she and her mother fly out to Monterey to go see her grandmother. Her grandmother's getting up in age, so they try to get out there once a year and go see her. But yeah, I'm home alone for a month. Deanna Marie, welcome. Glad to have you. This is a new show here. Um, I heard the report is coming the 18th, next Friday. Trump loves Fridays for dropping bombs. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily Trump, DM, because this has been a practice that's been happening for years. When there's massive news, especially incriminating news, somehow it's coordinated to be let out in the late evening on a Friday with the idea that during the weekend, it's a lot easier for the media outlets to spin it, to narrate it, to direct it where they need it to go. So by the time Monday comes around, they've got their talking points and they've got their modification to the story already set. And then they can ride that wave as long as it's in the media and keep people distracted and keep them from paying attention to it. Where can we view the rally? I don't know. There used to be an outlet that viewed all of them, but YouTube took their ability of casting away. You're saying OAN? Okay, I don't have that. I'm limited to internet. I got rid of TV. Um, I can't deal with all the lies and the corruption and the misleading information. Is is beyond my capability to tolerate. Um, so, anywho, if I've got the link up there one more time, if you guys want to come in, you want to tell me what you got going on. I mean, I can sit here and ramble for hours, but I'd love to meet and greet with you folks and see what you. And all you got to do is have Chrome or as your browser, or as your what do they call that? Your main page, main search engine. But once you have that, then all you have to do is hit that link. You'll show up underneath my screen. I'll bring you in, and we'll have a chat. And we've got the birds flying overhead. We got the sun. There shouldn't be any excuse for my signal dropping, but I'm sure that it'll think of something. RSBN, yeah, that's you're gonna have to wake up. I'm busy. Just a minute. I got a doggy door, but ladies and gentlemen, introducing Sandra Ann McGibbon. Hello, young lady. How are you doing?
I'm good, honey. How are you? I just wanted to pop in just to say hi. I got to be very careful because I'm holding my phone as I'm driving.
Yes, please be careful.
Oh, I am.
I would not want to be responsible for that.
Pardon me?
Well, I don't want you getting injured or anything trying to hang out with me. I'd be devastated.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm actually just leaning my hand against the wheel. So, and I'm on a very lightly used road on the whole. So I'm very mindful of safety first.
Awesome. So what you got on your mind?
Nope, just wanted to pop in and say hello. You did a great show with Pete last night. You guys rocked it out.
Well, thank you.
I want to put a plug in for your show last night. It was phenomenal. It really was.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Great info.
Yeah, I am stacked full of info that has been oozing out of my ears because I've kept it all to myself for a very long time, and I just reached a point where I felt like it's just time, because I've been studying this stuff for most of my life, and I talked to friends and family about it, and some believe me, some don't, even though I show them the proof and the facts. But I just feel like it's time that what I've got bound up inside of me, I should be able to get out and let other people make their own judgment on if I'm speaking truth to power or if I'm just speaking. That's the goal anyway.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. The audio went out.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Yep. I think your plug might be a little loose.
Okay, I just adjusted. I stopped. I'm over in a parking space right now. But you know what you were talking about? It's very scary, very intimidating. People, it's hard to wrap your brains around this kind of information because it's so deep and pervasive in all aspects of our
Yeah,
lives. And you're right, Alex. It's long overdue that people come up and speak what they know and just let the proverbial cards go where they go. But truth
yeah,
sticks. It does stick.
yeah. Well, it's you can lead a horse to water, but you can lead a person to knowledge, but you can't make them think. So it's up to the
Good
individual
one.
that. Well, yeah, I mean, it's reality. You can't force somebody to absorb the information that you have to give. Some people are closed up and they just can't. It's too much for their
Right.
mind to process. They like their magical world of illusion, and that's where they feel comfortable and want to stay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's the reality. And that's where, the rest of us are in and trying to make a positive impact, whether it's
Right.
informative, whether it's acts of kindness, whether it's like our dear friend in here, the great informer with jokes, one liner. Everybody
Hmm.
has their niche. And I like to reaffirm
Right.
that to people is that you have something that will help people. Um, Never underestimate the gift God gave you because God gave us all gifts.
Well, mine, I think he turned me into a sponge because I have an incredible desire to learn everything. I don't feel comfortable if I'm not learning something, and I've made it a mission of mine to learn something new every single day, and this has been since I was about 12 years old. I've been very independent. I had my first business when I was 12. Started paying taxes when I was 13. I've done something new and studied some new subject just about every day since I was 12 years old. So I've got so much going on in my mind that I needed to start being able to get some of it out and sharing it with people, and whatever they want to do with it is up to them.
I remember walking the college campus, and one day I was going into a lecture, and I was thinking, you know, I love to learn. I never want to stop learning. There's so much to learn. Some things I can absorb,
Yeah,
some I can't, but I love the process.
right. Well, it's an adventure because just like all of the information that I've tried to give out is information that can be fact checked and verified, but because it is so out there, the people just immediately shut down and say, "Oh, you're just you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to get attention or whatever the excuse is." But some people wake up, other ones just turn off the channel and go back to sleep.
I think the attention span is so finite right now for a lot of people. And they're busy raising families, work, etc. And so, we it's not just about what they've done to try to deliberately dumb down our youth, to try and dumb down people as a whole. It's that
Right,
attention span. If you don't strive to learn new things, your brain, it's almost like, okay, I get it. We won't give you a lot of information because you won't let it in. And it's like your brain won't let in
right,
information because if your attention span, you haven't, it's a practice to keep focused on whether it's
right,
podcast, an instructor, teacher, loved one with what they're saying, and listening to what they're saying. It's an art
right.
that is not being taught.
Well, it's purposely being untaught. That's why we have smartphones and stuff like that, because you have the short attention span, which makes it easier to distract a populace. Real quick, I wanted to say hey to Killer Whale. I saw him jump in here, and Mike, glad you came by. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time out here. Mary's here. Welcome, and Chris Link. Good to see you guys. Anyway, so yeah, with the attention span thing, the reason it's important for the release of this information that's going on through our government, they're putting out tidbits with that sole purpose of you can't dump it all on the public at one time because it'll be over for you. So you have to give a little bit of information at a time, show another
Yeah.
crime, focus on another person, do it a little bit at a time so that people can absorb it at the rate that society has designed people to absorb, which is pretty
Right.
slow.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and it's deliberate, and I think this is why a lot of what President Trump and his staff are doing, it's a little here, a little there. He's allowing these Democrats to show the full scope of who they really are, lawless, godless folks. And
Right.
I believe it's a deliberate. It's definitely not just by happenstance.
Oh yeah. Everything was created when society as a whole realizes that just about everything they know in their entire existence has been fabricated for the purpose of manipulation. Easy for me to say, and control. I mean, most of life is an illusion, and it's a very strange way of saying it, but there are so many lies that are put together just
Yes.
to keep control of humanity. And as those lies get exposed, people start to wake up. They're going to lose that control. Maybe not from everybody, but they're going to lose the majority of it. And that is one of the things that scares them the most.
Yep. The depth and breadth of it, of the illusion that we've been living under for so long, and not just us. I mean, generations before us. The magnitude, the depth with the breadth of this spider web is mind-boggling when you really start to look at it. I mean, there's not any area of our life that they haven't created illusions around. None.
Yeah. And when you are completely awake, it is very difficult to walk among the zombies because so many people are just absolutely unaware of everything that's going on around them. And to me, it's fascinating because I have been awake for so long. I just don't understand why people can't take a minute and question something and go, that doesn't feel right. And then pursue the information to make them comfortable with something. But they don't question anything. They just carry on. I
I think
question
there's fear
everything.
in here. Yeah, but I think there's a
Yeah.
fear factor, and the fear overrides the inquisitive nature, because what they are finding out is that terrifying or frightening or threatening to them. And it's, what we've had to do is to feel the fear and keep doing it anyway. Because of how God made us. We're inquisitive. We want to know. We may not like the truth. It may be scary, but we need to know the truth. We need to know what we're dealing with in order to effectively respond to it, you know?
Right. Yeah. I go through life fearless, and maybe that's a blessing. Maybe it's a curse. But I've been through the things that people would consider to be most fearful of. I have legally and clinically died twice in my life and come back, and I've been to my pain threshold, and I managed to pass out. And once you pass out, the pain goes away. So the two things that people say you should fear, you're supposed to fear death and you're supposed to fear pain. And I don't fear death because I've been there twice, and I didn't have a violent reaction to it or anything. It wasn't scary. And I've been all the way at my pain threshold, so I know what my body can take. And when my body
Yes, me
reaches that
too.
point, it passes out. So
Yeah,
if you have those two
I've died
things
3
and you
times.
understand them,
I've
yeah, I
died
mean,
3
once you've
times
reached that point,
myself.
though, there's nothing else to fear.
Right.
It's
Yep. Honey, I don't need to cut you short,
hang in
but I've got to
Arizona.
go. I'm going to go. I finish up what I'm doing. It's been a blessing. Thank you for having me. And God bless you and everybody in chat.
Oh,
And
it's
I'll
my
be hanging
pleasure.
around and listening.
All
Okay?
right. Well, thanks a lot for joining me. You have a great day.
My,
We'll talk to you next time.
my pleasure, honey. God bless.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, that was awesome. That was Sandra M. McGibbon, folks. She came in to say, hey, a great lady. She's been hanging out with us for quite some time. And, there's that link again if you want to jump on in and you want to say, hey, you want to tell me what's going on in your life, what's happening in the world around you. Just tap that link and come on in and join me. It's a come on in show, not a call in show. So if you want to come in, you want to talk, it's right there for you. The only thing you need is you need to have Firefox or Chrome as your main browser, and then you can hit that link and you'll be right here underneath my picture. I click one button and here you come. So what do you guys think of this format so far? We've got 17 folks with me. What do you think of this idea of a come-in show? You think it's something I should do regularly? You can hit me up with a 1 if you want me to go ahead and do this from now on Thursday night, or a 2 if you think I should keep researching and come up with another niche. I'm leaving it in the hands of the people that make my shows possible. Just checking to see if I got any messages. Yeah, Benny, no doubt. So if you want to join me in here, just hit the hey Billy, how you doing, sir? If you want to join me, come hit that link. I think it jumped up above the screen. It doesn't take but a minute and it's gone, but I'm going to put it up right again. If you want to join me and you want to tell me what's going on in your life, hang out for just a minute. I'd love to have you. We don't bite here on Disabled Vets Perspective. We just hang out. We want to get to know you folks, because if it wasn't for the people that join me all the time for these shows, I wouldn't have a show. It wouldn't be worth doing if it wasn't, if somebody wasn't interested in the content. It would be kind of a drag. You died 7 days later. Darla, yeah. Well, it happens to a lot of us. Which one is 3? I'm so confused. Is that like, do it, but don't do it? There's a 1, there's a 1, there's a 1. Okay, cool. I got 1s. Who wants to join me in here? Come on, grab that link. Come on in here. Let's see what you got going on. My YouTube circle is getting smaller. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're part of this Patriot Network, because the group that you are in now has a lot of incredible people in it, and you are in a good place. Okay, both. I'm so confused. But anyway, so if you want to come in, you want to tell me what's going on, you want to complain about what's going on in the world, there's that link. Just you need Chrome or Firefox to hit that link and you'll be right here on my show. Well, thank you, Linda. I appreciate you too. I'm glad to have all of you folks hanging out with me. You could be doing anything else in your life, and I always say that because it's real. You could literally be doing anything in the world that you want to do, but you guys are hanging out with me, and it's humbling. It's amazing that people want to be with me, because I'm just me. I'm just an old guy with a few things to say, and you guys are hanging out, and that means a lot. So I value all of you. So anyway, so if you want to come in, you want to talk about what's going on, we'll talk about this impeachment stuff. You want to talk about Biden, you want to know what's happening on Mars. I might be able to make a phone call. I don't know. I don't have any points of contact or looking. Duke, I saw your video. That was well done. You have personality for a radio DJ. I think you would be pretty good at that. It was well done. the entertainment was there. The tone of voice always good, so it's something you can listen to comfortably. So you got the right thing to do it. But, so I've got 18 folks in here, and if you see if I put that up there one more time, and if you want to come jump in and say something, talk about what's going on in the current affairs, activity in the world around you, just hit that link, and I'll have you in here, and just click on your image, and you'll be right here next to me. It's not scary. It's just me. We're just chilling out on the love seat. Not intending anything, but anyway, you were in coma. It was like being in a nightmare. Brother, I can't imagine. Fortunately, I went completely. When I was 10, I drowned underneath a sailboat. The boat turtled on me. The mast ended up straight down, and I fell into the water, so to speak. And as I went down, I ended up tangled up in the sheets and all the lines that were hooked to the mast, so I couldn't get out, and ended up drowning. And I was down for about 15 minutes. And my father got me back. He managed to grab a boat and race out there and pulled me up onto the boat and brought me back. But second time I was actually I went in for knee surgery, and they ended up giving me an epidural for pain management, I guess, and they shot it a little bit higher than they were supposed to, and they basically cut off all of my my muscle ability to operate my diaphragm, so I couldn't breathe. So while they weren't noticing the fact that I was blue and cross-eyed, and once I went down and the little beeper stopped that was handling the heart rate, that's when they go, oh wait, there's something wrong. So they managed to get me back, but back with a shot of adrenaline is not something you want. That just sucks. If you've ever been through that, I feel for you completely, because boy, that stuff, it's like being punched by a Mack truck when you come out with adrenaline. Yeah, so I'm gonna make an announcement here, a couple of them, and then since nobody wants to join me and tell me anything about their lives, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up. But we'll be back here again at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central, doing the same thing on the same channel. And I hope to see you guys there. Hope some of you will be willing to jump in and attend it with me and hang out and talk about what's going on in the world around you. DM, I just needed to ask again, because I think I missed the answer. Is the 5 o'clock time slot on Thursdays taken? And if not, I want to try to come up early and maybe do a 2-hour show on Thursdays, just so I have a chance to meet and greet with the folks that are out here. I want to do that, but the announcement I want to make is on Monday on History B, we will be attending a drive for a grand. It'll be looking to get our 1,000 subscribers, and the channels that are there. There's going to be 7 of us, I believe, maybe 8. I'm not absolutely certain, but it's going to be History B, DM, Ashley, Charity, R-rated conservative, disabled vets perspective, and potentially Rygirl. All these folks are moving up. We're getting close. We need to get to that grand before the new year, so we're going to shoot a promo. It's going to be a live event. Hope you guys are there, and that's going to be on History B's channel. So 5 p.m. yes, Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I forget, I'm on the Central time zone, so I have to remember to say everything in Eastern. It's like speaking a foreign language. 6 Eastern instead of my normal time. Yeah, it's a little early for people at work. Yeah, I know, but the reality is that when I do have guests, I don't want to say, hey, how are you? Thanks for coming. All right, bye-bye. I want to have a chance to let people talk. So I'm thinking, if people are working and they can get here for the second hour, that works too. The people that can make it at the 5 o'clock hour, that would be good too. I'm sure I can ramble on enough information to carry, even if I don't have anybody for the first hour, but we can see what happens. This is a toe in the water. Um, I don't want to jump in all the way and get wet to my neck. I want to make sure that people are receptive to this idea. And so if I do 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock tonight, then let's see, it would be, normally I'm doing 7 Eastern. I'd start at 6 Eastern. So yeah, it would be 2 hours, and I'll see what people think of it. Joseph Burbo, that one is for good. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah. But anyway, so that's the first announcement is please join us for that drive for 1,000 or drive for $1,000. And the second one here is where they're still needing support for Operation Border Command. You can go to bordercommand.com, text OBC to 53445 for details. You can donate to their cause at fundly.com/OBC. And what this is a 2,000-mile, 20-day excursion along the southern border. Going to be 2 stops a day. Going to be interviews with Border Patrol, local residents, militia members. The truth is going to come out about the southern border, and it will be unfiltered, unmediated. It's going to be a great thing, but it's going to be an expensive thing. I talked to the producer, and I think he said something to the effect of $10,000 just for their satellite uplink for the 20 days. So the numbers, the coinage that it's going to take for this event is going to be phenomenal. So they are still looking for help. You know, $2 donation from 2,000 people, then you know starts making a big difference. But it will be a huge event. A lot of live streaming along the border, a lot of edited programs for later viewing, and then a full documentary is going to be edited and produced at the end of the adventure and turned into a documentary movie, so to speak. So anyway, so I wanted to bring that up. Irina Linsky, hey, good to see you. A lot of other channels start at 8 and 9. Yeah, I know. But, I'm not one that likes to step on toes. I do understand that this is YouTube, and there are 2 billion people on here. So at some point, there's going to be overlap, and you can't help that. You're going to end up on top of somebody else, but there's enough people to go around. There's enough interest to split the difference. So I don't worry about that too much. Thank you, Darla. I appreciate you. But, all right, folks. So I will be back here at 6 Eastern, 5 Central, and we'll do this again. We'll see if you guys want to hang out and join me on here, and we'll have some fun, talk about events going on in the day. And until then, y'all, make sure if you haven't subscribed, by the way, that you do subscribe. Hit the ring, hit the bell, so that you see when I have videos coming up. And tell your friends about me. Please share the video out. I'm trying to get over 1,000 of you folks over joining me before the beginning of the year, so that I can get ahead of some of the YouTube games. And it is really important, because they will put even more restrictions on us as that time approaches. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out. My mods, you guys rock. You keep the thing really moving. And I thank you all for being here. My guests, I love you guys. But until next time, y'all, stay in the fight.